Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to go on this incredible mission, this great escape, where we take what looks like a totally worthless rock and turn it into pure, shining gold bullion. It's going to be an amazing journey, so let's dive right in. And a very warm welcome to the John Louis Memory School. This is the place where we make even the most complicated stuff totally unforgettable. And today's lesson, well, it's pretty much modern-day alchemy. It's going to be awesome. All right, so this is the big question, right? How in the world do we get from this, a rough, ordinary-looking rock with these tiny, invisible bits of gold trapped inside, to this, a beautiful bar of pure, shining gold? Well, it's a rescue mission, and we're about to learn exactly how it's done. Okay, every great mission needs a plan, and here's ours. First, we're going to smash that rock into powder. Then, we'll give it a special chemical bath. After that, we rescue the gold, forge it into a rough bar, refine it to almost perfect purity, and then we'll do a quick recap to make sure all this amazing info sticks in your brain. All right, let's get into part one. Before we can do anything with the gold, we first have to break it out of its rocky prison. So the first thing we do is take these huge chunks of ore and put them through massive crushers and grinders until they become a really fine powder. Why? Well, we're trying to expose all those tiny hidden gold particles. Next, we concentrate that powder. This step is all about getting rid of the useless rock, which, by the way, has a cool name, gangue. So the whole point here is simple. More gold, less rock. Okay, so we've got our concentrated gold powder. Now we've reached the real heart of the mission. This is where the chemical magic truly happens. The key process here is called leaching. Say it with me. Leaching. This is the step where we actually dissolve solid gold, turning it into a liquid form that's mixed with water. Now here's a super easy way to remember it. Think of the gold leaking out of the rock. Leaching helps the gold leak into the solution. See? Easy. So what's in this magic chemical bath? You know, the recipe is actually pretty simple. You take your solid gold, you add a chemical called cyanide, you need some oxygen from the air, and of course, some water. That's it. Those are our four main ingredients for making gold disappear. Well, dissolve. And here's the full chemical equation that makes it all work. I know, it looks a little scary, but it's not, I promise. On the left, you see our ingredients. Iu is gold, Cn is cyanide, O2 is oxygen, and H2O is water. And when they all party together, they create this new thing on the right. See how our gold, Iu, is now trapped inside those brackets with the cyanide? That's the whole point. It's now a new gold compound that can dissolve in water. Our solid gold is officially a liquid. So what do we call this special gold-filled liquid? It has this awesome, kind of weird name, pregnant liquor. Yeah, you heard that right. It's an old mining term, and it makes sense when you think about it. The liquid is pregnant because it's carrying all of our precious, valuable gold. You're definitely going to want to remember that name. Okay, so our gold is floating around in the pregnant liquor. But you know, we can't really do much with liquid gold, can we? We need it back as a solid. So now, it's time for the most exciting phase of our mission, the heroic rescue. Now, there are a couple of ways to do this rescue. One is the Merrill-Crowe process, which is super clever and uses zinc dust. The other way uses something called activated carbon, which basically works like a sponge, soaking up all the gold. Both are great, but today we're going to focus on the amazing chemistry of that first one, the Merrill-Crowe process. And here is the rescue in action. We add zinc powder, that's Zn, into our pregnant liquor. Now here's the cool part. Chemically, zinc is way more reactive than gold. So think of zinc as a hero. It sees the gold trapped in that cyanide complex, and it literally says, "Hey gold, I'll take your place. You go be free." And that's what happens. The zinc heroically jumps into the complex, and it pushes the gold out. And look, on the right side, our gold, Au, is all by itself again. And that little down arrow, that means it becomes a solid powder and falls right to the bottom. Zinc, our hero, has saved the gold. The rescue was a total success. We've got our gold back, but it's just a pile of fine powder right now. The mission is not over yet. It's time to bring the heats and forge our very first bar. So, what we do now is a process called smelting. We take that gold powder, we mix it with some other chemicals called fluxes, borax is a common one, and we melt the whole thing down at super high temperatures. What this does is it separates out all the other junk, the leftover impurities. That junk floats to the top and forms a layer of waste called slag. And underneath that slag, that's our beautiful molten metal, which we pour into a mold to cool down. And what we get is this. our very first bar of gold. It's called a doré bar, and it's not quite pure yet. It's usually about 90% gold, give or take, with other metals like silver still mixed in. So we're getting super close, but we're not at the finish line just yet. We can do better. And that brings us to the final act, refining. This is the last super high-tech step where we take that doré bar and we purify it until it's almost absolutely perfectly pure. Just look at this journey to perfection. We start with our doré bar at about 90%. Then it goes through something called the Miller process, which uses chlorine gas to get rid of more impurities, bumping us up to 99.5% pure. But for the grand finale, the Wohlwell process uses electricity to dissolve and then rebuild the gold, literally atom by atom, leaving everything else behind. And the result? An unbelievable 99.99% pure gold. Just wow. And that's the whole story. From a plain old rock to a bar of pure gold bullion. You've officially followed gold's great escape. So now, let's lock in everything we've learned with a quick final exam here at the John Louis Memory School. Are you ready? Okay, question number 1. Think back to that super important chemical bath. What do we call the process of dissolving solid gold out of its ore? I'll give you a moment. If you said leaching, you are absolutely right. Yes, remember our little memory trick? The gold is leaking out of the rock. That's the leaching process, which uses cyanidation. Excellent job! And now for question 2. After we dissolved the gold into that pregnant liquor, what was the hero metal we used to rescue it and turn it back into a solid?
The answer is zinc. That's it. Our hero, zinc, saves the day because it's more reactive, so it kicks the gold out of the solution. You guys are rock stars. Fantastic!
Well, thank you so much for joining us for this incredible lesson at the John Louis Memory School. You have officially mastered gold's great escape. So now I have a question for you. What other elements journey should we explore next time? Let us know, and we can't wait to see you in the next class.